And we are live. Welcome to Groove Asia Leaders Unite. My name is Nick. Let's get the show on the road today. What have we got for you today, and what are we going to discuss? Well, it's all about building a brand and leaving a lasting impression. As you can see on the screen here, I want to talk about that today. I think it's very important, and I'm going to explain to you why. Now, let's have a look and see what we've got over here. Thinking about the courses and communities season that I'm doing right now, why is it we should be interested in online courses? Well, just take a look at this. Just take a think about that. Take a look at that. You've never been as skilled, as knowledgeable, or experienced as you are today. When you stop working with whatever job or career that you're working in right now, and you want to make a change, and you want to pass on the knowledge to help you create a passive income or a more active income. But one of the ways to do it is to create online courses and communities. And that's what I want to do. I want to help you create those. Okay. So now, one of the things to look at is what to do, how to do it, and I've got a whole series of these. So take a look at the YouTube channels and uh, take it up with them. Now, why do we want to do this? Why should you care? I don't know about you, but I want financial freedom. I want you to type in the chat. What is it you want? What actually do you want to work for? Okay, what is necessary for you to go? Is it hospital bills, education bills, putting your kids through university? Is it to create an income so that you can actually retire at your convenience, at your leisure? Or is it to go and build a bigger legacy than you have already? Whatever it is, why are you doing this? By the way, I want to remind you that those of you watching live, put a hashtag live. On the replay, put hashtag replay and ask any question that you want. We'll take a look at them. Okay. Now, one of the things that we're looking at today, as I said, is leaving a lasting impression, building a brand. And as you can see on here, uh, what we want to look for is something in the region of, let's take a bigger look here. Um, One of the things that we want to look at, oh, let's take a look right here. There you go. Now, um, there are 6 important points I want to make today. So I'll run through those first. Defining your mission and your vision of the brand, developing the core values. What do you stand for? What does your brand stand for? A brand is not just a logo, and we'll talk about that. Your brand is a promise to anybody who comes across you that on the way you operate, the way you deal with people, the way in which you leave people feeling. Okay, how you impact people. All right. One of the things that, as you can see on the top of the slide over here, grooveasia.cm. Why is it .cm? Because customers matter. So that's part of the branding, isn't it? And that's the promise that Groove Asia give to you. Customers matter. You matter. Okay. So also creating a consistent visual identity. So with Groove Asia, you can see the G there. It's consistent on the top left-hand corner as well. You know, on the screen on here as well, with the G right there. You know it's consistent all the way through. What else do we have today? Brand messaging, storytelling. Yes. The best way to tell people is to tell them in the form of a story. We've done it for hundreds and thousands of years, haven't we? So I think it works. Strategic positioning in the market. Just make sure that you're in the correct area, the correct place, so to help you get your message across, and also to build brand loyalty. Okay. Now, talking about building a brand, defining your brand's mission and vision, importance of clear mission and vision as the foundation of your brand. And so, what I want you to do, you can pause the video if you wish. I want you to create your brand's mission statement. It could be something very, very simple. Now, one of the things that you can do is to write down some bullet points. What does your brand stand for? What is it you stand for? And therefore, your brand will stand for. What are the key things that are important to you? You could be a trainer who believes in um, coaching excellence and guaranteed results, for example. So you could actually build something around those two tenets. Right? You could be a shop owner saying, "Hey, I've got the best value. We've got the best goods over here. We've got the best value, and you won't be disappointed." And so you want to put in there things like customer service, things like the being able to follow through, being able to actually have guarantees on the goods and services that you're actually going to go and invest in. There are a number of things that you can talk about, but what is the core? What is that core belief that you want somebody to understand about you and your brand? That's what we're talking about here. All right. So I want you to have a go at that. Just it can be 2 lines, it can be 3 lines, but just have a go at writing it. And it's okay if you don't get it first time. Come back to it later. All right. Now, second item over here is, as I said, developing your brand's core values. Um, what you want to do is to talk about your culture, the perception that you want your customers to have. You What you want to do is to actually say to people, "This is who I am. This is my brand, and this is the way in which I'm going to treat you." Okay. You want to go and identify and communicate the values that align with your customers. Now, remember, we've done a lot of discussions. We've had a lot of discussions about customers, identifying ideal customer, identifying your market, identifying your niche, all of those kind of things. Okay, so you should have an idea now who your ideal customer is, where they hang out, what their problem is that you can solve, that they do not want to solve themselves or cannot solve themselves. Okay. So you know all these things. And so one of the things that, for example, I do is I talk to people about, okay, you're an expert in that thing that you want to create a course on. Okay, you're an expert. An expert is somebody who knows more than somebody else. Okay, in the basic meaning of it. An expert, there's a lot of authority there as well, and you can build your authority. And one of the things about the uh, the brand and so on is, how do you want somebody to see your brand? How do you want them to identify you? How do you want them to feel when they see you? For me, it's very simple. You're an expert in whatever you do. You've never been as experienced and as knowledgeable as you are today. Well, let me help you share that with your ideal customers. Okay. Now, it could be that you're struggling with communicating on camera, communicating in text, creating courses. You may not be tech savvy. You may not be marketing savvy. You may have, for example, I was speaking to somebody the other day saying, "Well, why would somebody pay for my knowledge?" Well, that's the other thing, isn't it? It's about the mindset. So what I do is I help people with mindset as well. So this particular person close to me was saying, I've got 35 years of experience. Why would somebody pay for that? Why is somebody, everybody else has got knowledge. Yes, but not many people put their head above the parapet to get to be in the line of fire and put themselves out there. Okay? So that's what I do. That's one of the things that I do. I help people get the confidence to go and build themselves up, stand up tall and proud, and actually say, hey, my name's Nick, and I help people build courses and communities. That's it. I help people say that for themselves, in their brand, and to their customers or their future customers. All right. Now, uh, looking at the visual identity, I mean, look, a lot of the time people say, oh, branding, oh, that's his logo, right? Logo, color scheme, typography, imagery. Yeah, that's a small part of it. And the key thing about that is that, you have to be consistent across all platforms, right? That's a big key. But also, if you wanted to, you could have a page on a website explaining where the brand came from, explaining what the logo is and it's interesting or why it should matter to somebody else. You can have a whole backstory in there if somebody is interested. But let me break it to you, folks. Not many people are interested, at least at the beginning. But when they get to know you, like you, and trust you, and they become your fans or your super fans, they will be very interested. They will go deeper. They want to know you as a person. So, therefore, be authentic, be clear, be honest, be transparent, and most of all, do things in the right way, because people will see through any facade, any false promises, any false marketing. Okay, when you build your brand, you've got to be yourself, you've got to be authentic, but don't be afraid to change yourself. Okay, but when you're building your brand, it's all about you as you are the business, right? So that's very important to actually have the color, the logos, the typography, and the imagery that is consistent. Now, for example, on different platforms, you may change the color of your logo slightly to fit that particular platform, or for certain types of products or services, you may change the logo a little bit, make it bigger, smaller, color as well, just a shade of it, but it should be consistent. So, for example, one of the things that you could do is to actually have your courses with a particular color, for example, red, but then have webinars or master classes, free webinars as a slightly different color, maybe a pinkish or a different shade of red, so that it stands out, so that people recognize it. And it's up to you how you categorize and split those things up. Okay. Now, in terms of brand messaging and storytelling, this is super important. Creating powerful stories that resonate with the customers at an emotional level. You need to connect with them. Utilizing storytelling and marketing materials in social media. Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit more about this. One of the things about stories is that people will give you a few seconds more to start telling your story. Otherwise, in this world, especially if you're advertising on social media, you're putting a post, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds, 5 seconds maybe if it's a video, to capture somebody's imagination and their attention, to keep it for longer. Therefore, storytelling and the way you deliver your stories is very important. For example, what I'm doing right now is putting pauses. I'm breathing. I'm speaking clearly. I'm not being rushed. I'm not getting my message in 5 seconds, because the message doesn't get through then, does it? What I want to do is to tell you a story, tell you about my background on creating online courses. My first online course I created in 1996, would you believe? And what happened was that I was using Microsoft NetMeeting. I had a very rickety old headset. I would connect to my computer, which was probably a 486 or a Pentium at the time. And I was connecting and talking to people all around the world using IRC or Internet Relay Chat channels and other things, and I found Microsoft NetMeeting. Now, the beauty of that is that the software was in the early days, all right, and but you had the ability to connect with people with voice. You could chat to them in a chat box as well, and also you could draw things on a whiteboard. I mean, similar to some of the other software that we have nowadays, like Zoom without the video. You know what I mean. Now, what happened was I was a trainer at the time and a lecturer, college lecturer, and I wanted to go and break into commercial training online because I saw the advantages of it and so on. So anyway, so what I did was I created a course on how to use Microsoft Excel. That's it. Very basic course to take people through and saying, hey, this is an Excel spreadsheet. These are the things you can do with it. This is why you would actually go and have a go at it. And let's take you through to type in some information, create a spreadsheet, put in formula, uh, put in some formatting, some colors and some backgrounds, even put in a graph or a picture, save it, and then you could email it to somebody. Now, I mean, literally, that was the first lesson that I created. And it was very interesting because we did it. I did it all without video, but it was by listening, and also because I knew the subject, because I was teaching all of this stuff. I taught business and IT at a college local to me. I knew the stuff. I didn't have to go. Didn't need to be learning it. So therefore, those people who I signed up for it were able to see that I was authentic, I was knowledgeable, and I showed them how to create a basic spreadsheet and start on their journey in using computers to help them with their work or their business. And over a period of time, technology changes. But what you need to do is to work out how to get your message across using the different channels. So, therefore, when you're telling your story, sometimes you can be a little bit more long-winded. Sometimes you've got to be very quick. If you're using TikTok or YouTube Shorts, keep it at 15 seconds, 25 seconds, 45 seconds, maybe. You can do a longer video on YouTube or Instagram Reels, for example, or wherever it is. You can even transcribe it and edit it so that it becomes a blog article, and you're telling a story in print. And you can share it on LinkedIn. You can share videos, go live on LinkedIn as well. So there's a number of different things that you can do. But I want you to understand what it takes to go and get people's attention. And one of the key ways, I'm a Toastmaster, so one of the things that you learn very on at Toastmasters is about creating a structure for your speech or your presentation. So at the beginning, you tell them what you're going to tell them, and in the middle, you tell them what you want to tell them, and at the end, you tell them what you've just told them. But you do it in three slightly different ways. Make 3 points only throughout the whole presentation, but you've made 3 points in 3 different ways, and hopefully one of these points that you made, the 3 points in 3 ways, hopefully people take at least one of them away. But as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm trying to tell you my background of how I started and how I started training online courses, and also how I started presenting and structuring the way in which I created videos, for example, or created presentations. Now, you can do that too. Just think about it. Don't try and put in all the information. Keep it succinct, and also invite questions. So therefore, if, for example, you have any questions right now, you can put them into the chat, and we'll take a look at them. And one of the key things about this is that I want you to go and be confident looking into the camera. Okay, that's very important, because when you want to get your message across and when you want to tell your story, make eye contact, just like I'm doing with you now. And the act of storytelling and connecting at an emotional level, it's very important to make eye contact. Hmm? Tell me what you think. Tell me what your thoughts are on that. Now, obviously, you don't want to be like this and be really creepy, a little bit too much eye contact, but you get the idea. Okay, it's very important to go and connect with your audience, and also depending on who your audience is and where they are, they may have different ways in which to communicate and to receive communication. So you have to get that right as well, not just the content of the story. So it takes a little time, but any time spent on this to craft your story, to craft your narrative, to craft your messages, and the way in which you deliver it will absolutely help you in the future, because not only will it help you get the message across, it will also help you create the online video course, training courses, so that your message, your knowledge and experience gets transferred super efficiently to the person receiving it, and they will appreciate you for that, and they will go and tell their friends and send them to you. Hopefully, that's the idea. Anyway, okay, so you get the idea. Brand messaging and storytelling is very important. Don't be afraid of a story about where you came from, no matter how sad or bad a story it is. Just be honest with people, because that way because people are just human, just like you. Okay. All right. So strategic positioning in the marketplace. Uh, Differentiating your brand, absolutely, and also strategies that help you position your brand and make it the preferred choice. Well, there are a number of things that we can talk about with this, and one of the things that I would say is talk about differentiating your brand. And this is where you as a person, your authentic self, uh, can really make a difference. I'll give you an example. I've got somebody very close to me, and he is how long has he been working for? Probably 35, yeah, over 35, 38 years in his profession, uh, in different forms and so on. Running, not only working for somebody else, but running his own business and so on. And he makes a good living and so on. But he was asking, well, how would I stand out if I started doing something like this? If I started teaching people or be a consultant in that particular profession, how do I, why would somebody listen to me? Well, there's plenty of people doing it. And one of the things I said was, yes, there's plenty of people doing it, and that's good, because what that shows is that there's a readiness for people to want to listen to people like him and in his industry. Okay, that's one thing. Don't be afraid of a busy shopping street. How can I ever sell there? Well, it's busy. Okay? It's busy. People are selling. Now, why is it you go to different stores? Because you know one thing about a particular store, and you know that, for example, if you're going to get bagels, the freshest bagels are in this bakery over here. And there may be 6 or 7 bakeries along this long main road, a main street or shopping street. But you go to that one because you know something about them. You know that, for example, if you want the freshest pasta to take home to then cook for your family tonight, you go to this particular patisserie or you know uh, restaurant. So you get the idea that you're known for something. So what do you want to be known for? What is it that makes you stand out from your peers? What makes you unique? Now, I was going to say special. Yes, you can say special. And a lot of people go, oh, well, I'm not so special. I'm not so. Well, this is where, again, I say to you, break out of this idea that, well, we're always told, aren't we? Why, especially, I come from the UK. The way we brought up is less is more. Don't toot your own horn. Don't blow your own horn. You've got to be more reserved. Okay. Well, I think that you also now have to learn new skills to go and toot your own horn and say to people, hey, look, what I do is this. Get them on. Have one simple message, maybe. Have the idea that, for example, one of the things that I do is not only help you with I help you with the mindset of creating courses to get your head around the fact that you can create a course, whoever you are, no matter what skills you have, no matter what experiences you have. And you don't even need experience in the course, too much experience in the courses that you're doing. You could be doing it for 38 years. You could be doing it for 3 months. Because ultimately, what you're doing is you could be sharing your journey from scratch to expert, and you're taking people with you. That's another way to look at it. So, and people will buy into you as a person, especially if you put yourself into the video. Some people are not happy with that. Okay, no problem. So in another way, make it stand out. Make it stand out by getting AI to actually do the voiceovers of the video, to put presentations on a screen, to have words appearing or videos appearing or whatever it is you want. You've got to make yourself stand out. But if you can make yourself stand out in one way, then you've made it unique. There'll be somebody out there that will go, oh, that's interesting. Where do I go to find out a bit more? That's it. That's all you're looking for. You're not, you don't want to actually go and give them so much information about what you do, how you do it, blah, blah, blah. No, you want to ask them a question, engage them, make them curious. For example, ask them a question. So one of the things that I ask is, do you want to make an impact when you're semi-retired? Do you want to stop exchanging time for money? Do you want? So you're asking questions, and depending on the questions, some people will stop. But this is the point, and we talked previously in previous sessions about marketing and A/B testing, and testing lots of different things. But look, getting back to this brand, you make yourself stand out, and one of the biggest ways you can make yourself stand out is to make it personal to you. It's your brand. It's your brand, it's your business. So if people know a bit about you, or people like the way you deliver something or the way you come across, then great. That helps you, especially when you're creating a community that will then work with you and grow with you, and you can use them to help you grow your brand. Be beta testers, give them free courses or cheaper courses to try out, to make them better so that you can sell them, but you give them a reward as well. There's a number of ways in which you can connect with your community, but there'll be somebody somewhere who will connect with you. You've just got to go and find them. Also, make your brand the preferred choice. Yeah, Um, and we talked about this previously. Make an irresistible offer. Make it so that it's so good that you're going to go and say, right, I'm going to take you from A to Z, help you create online courses, and make a start on building communities. Okay, I'm going to help you do that with this 90-day course that will take you from a newbie, don't know much about the tech, don't know much about marketing, all the way through to having created a course, having marketed it, and now starting your community. And A to Z like that. So there's a number of different ways that you can do this, but it's about standing out uh, and grabbing attention, but also having the substance when somebody looks a little bit closer. Okay. Now, the next item on here that we want to talk about is about building brand loyalty. Um, Engaging with customers, create advocates for your brand. Absolutely. This is what I mentioned earlier on about fans and super fans, right? Leveraging customer feedback to strengthen brand trust and loyalty. Yeah, and again, this is what I talked about, for example, uh, being a kind of like your focus group on trying new things out, on trying new courses, on trying different approaches, on hey, which video do you like, A or B? What when you're marketing for your next course, ask people, and they will tell. The reason why they'll tell you and give you your honest opinion is because they're part of the community. They're loyal to you. They like what you do. They know you, they like you, and they trust you enough to have already bought from you. So nurture them, talk to them, create a Facebook group, create a particular um, set of engagement points whereby you can send them a regular email, you can send them posts through Facebook, you can WhatsApp people directly or text them. There's a number of different ways you can keep in touch with them. And the more responsive they are, that's great because these are your customers and these represent um, your future customers as well. Find out what they like. Find out what um, they didn't like. Find out what they think that you could do better. Learn from them. One of the things that there are various gurus out there, but the idea of having superfans is so important because it's a two-way engagement process, not just one way. Okay, it's very important. It's a two-way process because if you can connect with people with the stories and so on, what we talked about, and also to create this connection so that people are loyal to you, they will help you sell more to more people. It's not about, and remember, it's not about selling. It's about giving people the opportunity to benefit from your goods, your services that you're offering. Giving other people the opportunity. So it's not really selling. What they're doing is they're just sharing. They're helping you craft your courses, craft your your offerings, and helping you streamline it, make it better, give you ideas even. Some of these people will become super fans. Some of these people will help you manage and moderate the forum that you create in, whether it's be Facebook or whichever other means that you actually do it. On WhatsApp, you can actually make them admins to help you manage the chat and all this kind of stuff. There's a number of different ways you can do this, and they will love it because they want to be part of the brand. They want to associate themselves with you because they see something in you that helps them, that makes them a better business person or a better employee or whatever it is you bring to them. It they appreciate it and they will do anything for you to help you. Just trust them. Just ask them. Okay. one of the key things, as I said today, is about leaving a lasting impression. That's a very, very important thing. So today we looked at building a brand, defining the mission and the vision, your brand's core values, creating a consistent visual identity. Okay, you notice that, for example, in the Groove Asia YouTube channel, we have consistent visual branding and identity. Look at the thumbnails for my series, for Peter's, for Karen's, for Simon's, for Ching Yu's, for JJ's, for George's, everybody's. We have a consistency across the channel, which is very important. Um, we talked about brand messaging, storytelling. Don't be afraid to tell your first story where you tried and failed, but then you got up and dusted yourself off and then tried again. Tell your story. Tell your backstory. Tell the story about how the logo came about or the name of your brand, your company. Strategic positioning, yes. You one of and one just as a note on that. This is very, very important. It's to do with marketing. It's to do with but also it's to do with your brand as well. See, if you're selling hot dogs and you want to be known for selling fantastic hot dogs, that's great. So you can have the best hot dog, the best bun, the best ketchup, and all the other things that you put on it. That's brilliant. That's great. You can have a fabulous logo. But you've also got to be smart in the positioning. I mean, literally, physical positioning. If you want to sell hot dogs, you put yourself in a place where there are lots of people who are going to be hungry. For example, coming out of a football stadium, a baseball stadium, a cricket stadium, you're going to sell. Be in the right place. So don't overthink things. Don't try and be over clever. Just be simple, clear. Ask your friends and family or people that know about this particular areas, but then you make a decision. You need to make a decision. Okay, that's very important. And the final thing we talked about was brand loyalty, and the brand loyalty is a starter to help you build your communities, isn't it? And that's the subject of our next live stream next week, building communities. Okay, so now what I want you to do is we're going to go with this. I'm going to actually go and put this into the chat on here. And also, I'm going to share with you the events on here as well. So, if you want a private consultation with me, just click on this link. I will post it in a few minutes. But in terms of what else is going on with Groove Asia, so let's have a look and see the calendar on here. That we will be back here next week. One of the things that we want to do here is to work with you. Drop me a line, put some message on there, get in touch with me. There's a number of different ways that you can do that about courses and communities and other aspects as well. Otherwise, we will see you next week, and take care. Have a good one, and I hope you're enjoying the holidays. Back soon.
Hi, this is Simon Liang with GrooveAsia.cm. Are you already a part of the #1 community in the world? If not, do so right now for free training and support, along with live sessions to help you succeed. Start now by joining us in our private Facebook group and get more exclusive video content on our YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe with notifications turned on for all updates. Join our community right now. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you on the inside at grooveasia.cn.